My good friend Theresa is sitting across from me. We gave her a month off last month because she had to, have a vacation.
Yes,
But
thank you.
of course, it's time for Vision Talk, and we have Theresa McMordie, rehab specialist for Vision Bermuda. And good to have you back. Glad you enjoyed your break.
Oh, I had a great time.
Yeah, off to a seminar, you said, about new stuff to do with vision loss.
I did, yes. I went and I came back full of inspiration as well.
Sweet.
Which I've already started implementing, but yes.
Yeah,
it's always nice to talk to other professionals.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, like-minded people. I mean, obviously, our ophthalmologists and our optometrists and all of that support are fantastic. But actual professionals that understand my role, and it's just amazing to work with. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good on you, and I'm sure the clients are going to benefit tremendously.
I hope so.
From all of it as well. But we're really going to talk a little bit in depth today about World Sight Day, which was last Thursday.
Yeah.
The 10th of October, and the theme, I guess we'll call it, is "Children Love Your Eyes." So tell us a little bit about what World Sight Day means. We have some statistics and stuff to let people know about as well.
Well, World Sight Day, is an annual event which is designed to draw attention to blindness and vision impairment. It was originated by the Lions Club, can you believe? I don't mean can you believe like that, Lions Club, because you are amazing. But that's who initiated it back in 2000.
2000, okay, turn of the century it was, yes.
Yeah, that just feels like so far away. I've just sort of got stuck
now
on my own statistic there.
Gosh.
But since then, it's been integrated into Vision 2020, which is a really good thing. And the event is now coordinated by the International Agency for the Prevention of Blindness in cooperation with the World Health Organization. So it's a really big deal now.
For sure.
And as you already said, it takes place on the second Thursday in October each year. Gotcha. And this was the first year that we've opened up Vision Bermuda's Beacon House to host the event. So a few facts about children's vision. Did you know? 80% of children's learning is processed through their eyes.
Through vision, yes, absolutely.
Which, when you sort of hear it, it makes sense, but you don't think about it, do you, as a day-to-day thing? And World Sight Day, which was on last Thursday, October the 10th, aims to highlight the critical importance of prioritising child eye healthcare and providing children everywhere with the opportunity to love their eyes. It's well known that uncorrected vision impairments in children can severely impact their education.
Yes.
Ensuring children have the necessary vision correction can reduce failing rates by 44%.
Wow.
Which is a significant improvement in their academic outcomes.
For sure.
Along with allergies and asthma, eye disorders are among the most common long-term health problems suffered by children. In fact, 1 in 5 children have undetected vision condition. It's important to identify any problems as soon as possible to reduce the impact on their development. Because, of course, children
don't know sometimes.
Yes, if they don't know what they they can't see.
Sure.
And my youngest, he was born prematurely, and therefore he could have had retinitis pigmentosa in childbirth. And so one of the tests that I would always, and that's where you the reduction in peripheral vision. And one of the tests I was constantly doing with him is having him standing up straight with his arms out wide, almost like in a T.
Sure.
And then facing forward, wiggling his fingers to see how far in his hands would go before he could see his fingers.
Sure.
Because that's where your peripheral vision is. And I actually do use this with some of my adult clients. When they say that they're losing their peripheral vision, I will have them do this and wiggling their fingers. And if their arms come in, like a
come very
triangle,
far forward,
then you know that your
they've
peripheral
lost
vision
field
is
of vision.
Significantly lost. Yes. So I was always doing that with him as he was growing up, just checking his peripheral. Obviously, I had his sight tested,
of course,
every year because of the complications that he had. But
in his childbirth,
that was you know, that's a really quick and simple test too that parents can do.
I watched a Disney documentary the other day. I can't quite remember the title. It's about a young Nigerian boy who wants to do ballet. Very, 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 very cool to watch. And so he does end up getting noticed through Instagram or something, that he has this natural ability, frowned on totally where he's from. So he ends up going to school in England for ballet. And he has trouble doing pirouettes because they do that follow your eyes, steady your eyes. That's how ballerinas and skaters can pirouette. And they figured out that he was having this trouble because one of his eyes... Now, he had been going to school full-time at night, but going to this intensive school, he had to read a lot more out of text and books, and he struggled with, he said, his eyes aching. Come to find out, he had had some sort of parasitic infection as a small child. Oh, wow. And was actually losing the sight in one of his eyes. And because he had gone to ballet and experienced this problem, they did the diagnosis to treat this problem he was having. And it got to the point where he had lost central vision. I forget, that's the other eye, and you only have peripheral. That's the other eye problem that we've talked about. Yeah. But that was how it was discovered, through his ballet school, because he had never had, real intense eye exam. And because his brain had learned to compensate with the other eye for most of his everyday life, they did not know. Like you said with your child, they can't tell you.
Yes.
Yeah, he did not know.
Because they experience sight and the way they see the world, thinking that everybody else sees it the same way. It's the same with children who have colour vision loss. That they think everybody is looking at the same way. Yes. So eye tests are so important because they highlight anything that can, easily be detected.
Sure.
Yeah, well, even the stronger conditions. Yeah, it's really, really important.
Yeah, you have. That's the point we just made. Most children will adapt. Yes. Right?
Yes, absolutely. Most children will adapt. So I am a very big advocate, and I know the Lions Club and Debbie Cottingham is also, in that all children should have a full eye examination before starting school. And then regularly as they progress through their primary and secondary years of education. And again, I think we talked about this before with retinitis pigmentosa in particular. It can, my son was very lucky. He was okay through his, he hasn't got any eye condition, so let's just make that clear. But another time when it could have ignited itself is through adolescence. Sure. So again, I was nagging a little bit more and having him tested.
Oh, Mom! But don't you let your children whine and complain, but get them tested.
Yes, please do, because it doesn't hurt.
No.
It's it's painless is what I mean. So as I've just mentioned, Debbie, she's amazing. She is a volunteer from the Lion.
We haven't chatted. We chatted with her once. I think it was great to have her on.
Yes, we did, and I'm hoping that she's going to come on again with me in February. Sure. So now I've said that out loud, she can't say no.
Debbie.
But she's been trained and approved by the Centre for Eye Health.
Yeah.
And she will be providing screenings once again for 4-year-olds in school beginning next January.
Awesome.
She uses a machine, I understand, is called a spot vision screener, which is a state-of-the-art piece of equipment. And you put it on like a bit of pair of glasses. You raise it to your eyes. Yes, and it takes a photograph and some measurements and produces a technical report, which then will go to the parents. Debbie ensures that personalised letters are written and addressed to the parent or guardian. I believe they get sent to everybody. Don't quote me on that though. But you definitely get a letter if anything has been identified.
Sure, and a referral to an optometrist.
Yeah, so I urge parents to please sign your consent forms, because the one thing that Debbie has a problem with is she cannot screen if the consent form isn't free.
Sure.
Isn't signed.
Isn't signed. There's no cost.
And I shadowed her on one of her visits, and it's such a nice environment. She's so lovely and friendly. The school teacher is obviously there, and they come out of the classroom in small groups and sit on the carpet while a few, somebody is screened, and then they go and sit back on the carpet, and somebody else is screened, and the room is dark, but there's adults there with them, and then they go out and another group comes in. It's a very, very quick process.
Sure,
I mean, it probably only
totally
takes
non-invasive. Yeah,
2 minutes at the most, and that's probably an exaggeration of time for each person.
So you guys do something special this year for Vision Bermuda?
We did. We had our first open house for World Sight Day since we opened. And we'd like to thank everybody that came in and visited. It was a really good day. The event was very well attended, and we had several tables. We had an introduction to Braille, where I had used ping pong balls in an egg box, in a 6 egg box, because each Braille cell, it has six dots within it. Yes, and encourage people to be able to write their name in Braille, which was very good, using the different egg boxes. Sure. Which went down very well. And then I had a Perkins Brailler there, and people could have a go at typing Braille as well if they wanted to.
That's cool.
That was fun. We also had simulation eyewear for glaucoma and
right, so you could help people know what it feels like, right?
So they could put those glasses on, and then they could try to read and have a little wander around and go over and try the Braille out, or go to the we had another area where under blindfold people were making a sandwich. Oh, wow. And it really did highlight to family and friends and carers the difficulty of finding the butter, for example, and making sure you have butter on the knife to then butter the bread. So, it was a lot of fun. And I also had a low vision table where I had different pieces of technology, assistive readers and magnification and filters and for any glare lighting.
We've talked about those glare filters, because the thing folks complain about the most here is, don't drive anymore at night because of the glare, and especially with all the different headlights in some of the more modern cars and everything now. It's a little bit crazy out there. But have you, since we've chatted about it a few times, have you had more people saying, hey, I'm going to go get me some of them yellow glasses to put on so the glare doesn't bother me?
Yes, they have. We've sold, and we still have some in stock if anybody, particularly with the darker nights coming up, if anybody wants to come and try them. Yeah,
and they'll fit over existing eyewear and everything. That's the convenient thing. And you don't want to walk around, they're not a fashion item. They're to help you see and be more comfortable while you're driving.
Yeah, to stop the reflection. Because we have two types of glasses. We have the yellow that help very much with macular degeneration, although I never tell a client that. I always let them see what colour feels most comfortable to them. Sure. But yellow is for macular. And then there's a different yellow with reflection on it for night driving. So it's actually the night drivers that people would be asking for, not the yellow glasses.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so the video magnifiers, I had those out and for people to come and have a look at. And I've got a really nice big tabletop CCTV now in stock. Well, I say in stock as a demo, and where people can actually read the newspaper properly, because it goes over the whole of the table.
The whole page,
the table of the unit, that is. And to be able to enlarge it. It's very good. Of course, it's expensive, but it is a very, very good piece of equipment that people really like to use.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then we had a light lunch, sandwiches and cakes and cookies and drinks and people. What I love is how people gather in the kitchen.
Oh, sure. You got to be around the table, honey.
And then people were, just really crammed in the kitchen area, and it was just so lovely. It was to see.
You don't want to be too far away from the sandwiches.
No. So next year, note to self, I just need to bring those tables out a bit so we can get round. At least get round.
Put the food in a few different places.
Yes, yeah. But that was it was a really good day, and again, I thank everybody who came in, and a couple of people donated as well. Donated to us, so that was just really lovely.
Good stuff.
One of the things, because somebody also donated some old glasses. Now, we don't normally collect used glasses, and in the past I've told people we don't, but actually because the Lions Club do, we could be an outlet.
Sure, just have a bucket
glasses.
there.
And then we could pass them on to the Lions.
To Lions, yeah.
The Lions Club, yeah.
They do a great job of repurposing, for sure.
Yes, and I just want to thank them as well, because they've been doing the gardening for us as well. I turned up a couple of weeks ago, and
the grass
was cut, and everything
Borders
was trimmed, everything was
lovely. Yeah.
So thank you so much to the Lions Club, because we really wouldn't be without them. And of course but they also donated our kitchen, and I have cooking classes twice a month.
I was going to ask you how. Did we ever get the gingerbread recipe? That's been the recurring.
No, we're
going to
haven't made gingerbread. No,
but we're going to.
Which is my favourite thing. I mean, I used to like gingerbread before, but the way Bermudians
you get
make
a
gingerbread,
Bermuda recipes,
my goodness, it's my favourite thing, and. I even bought some to take home from somebody special who makes it here to take home with me when I went home on vacation just recently. Because, oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Yes.
Well, we will get to that, but you have been making a bit of progress with the cooking, right? What are you up to making these days?
We have, and that's what I just want to thank the Lions Club again for that. I've just... it's not arrived on Ireland yet, but I have just bought some talking scales, thermometer back in the UK, and sent them here. It should have been here last week, but you know what?
Packages take a long time to get across the Atlantic at times. Yes, they do.
So that will enhance the kitchen as well.
For sure, even more.
But we've done scones and bread and making a sandwich, and we're about to do pound cake.
Sweet, yeah.
And I love it because the recipes that are coming in are from our client's family.
I was just going to say, it's good to have them involved,
which is really,
with
really nice.
Just adds a little bit more of I think a special layer to what they're trying to do, to accomplish without vision or with very low vision, to cook or bake something is quite an accomplishment. But if it's something that they treasured as a youngster growing up, like grandma's gingerbread recipe or something like that, that's going to be great for them to connect to it and to want to do it even more. Now, Paul's still doing his thing for you as well, right?
He is. And if I can just go back to the kitchen, the social side of it as well.
Yes.
Because in my mind, I was going to do something like I've done in the UK before, where it was going to be a proper class, like, this is how you would
measure,
chop
and this is how you do,
and all that, with a visual impairment or blind. But now, because the class just love to get together and have that social side to it, at the moment, although it will be different when the talking scales arrive, at the moment they have everything weighed out for them.
Gotcha.
And then I will explain where everything is by them, and they still do it themselves. But I'm not as fussy as, I know we haven't done anything that I need to chop an onion, but I'm not being as fussy where they need to chop their own onion as well.
Gotcha.
And yes, Paul's classes, we have now, he's just amazing, Paul Lambert. Everybody loves him. And he works them hard. I mean, we had a class this morning, and one of my clients came out saying, "Whew, I'm really
busted." Yeah,
he's worked exactly the words he used. Busted.
Yeah, busted.
Yeah, so that's just lovely that they love him so much. So we've now just expanded that in the last 2 weeks to a Monday as well.
Sure.
Still the same time as Wednesday, which is 10 to 11. And you're welcome to come along. And after exercise, so it's chair exercise classes, and Paul is so good at finding out about injuries and what you can do, what you can't do, but encouraging you if he thinks that you can do a little bit more than what you're doing. And after that, we have a social. My clients like to stop and have a cup of tea and coffee. So
Sure.
then the social side of things is works.
Makes
really
such a
well.
difference to combat what can often be quite isolating. So
Yes.
it's very important.
Yeah, really is. And just before I go on about the other things, I'd just like to welcome Calvina into our fold.
And what does Calvina do?
Calvina is amazing. She's this incredible bundle of joy and positivity. She's just lovely. And she was taken on temporarily, really, before to help me out while I was going away.
Sure.
And so the classes could still run and everything. And yes, she's going to be staying on for a bit longer. And
Sweet.
she is amazing. And like I say, she's just a joy.
So
to work
she
with.
helps you and coordinates and keeps everything moving along, I'm sure.
Moving along and helping, starting to help keep me
All right,
in check, 'cause
Calvina,
I sometimes need
you're
that.
becoming indispensable. Just
Well,
saying.
she
Keep
is.
it
And
up.
in fact, I do want to bring her into a vision talk so that clients and, listeners can hear her.
Understand.
Because she
the role she plays.
Yes, and the important role she plays too. And she was actually instrumental. Why I wanted to say that, there's two groups that she was really keen on starting.
Okay.
And one was the games. I talked about it before, but I just didn't have capacity to start it. But so she's now running a games afternoon once a month. And we have tactiles, Scrabble and dominoes. And some other games as well. And that went really successfully again.
Sure.
Another good opportunity for people to get together and have some fun. So yes, and I'm sure that that's going to continue to grow. And the other group that she's looking to start, and she's actually investigating right now, she has a passion for gardening.
Okay.
And she's going to do something with plants and herbs, and she has a vision of being able to our clients to grow something and then, for example, make tea with it or hand cream. She's very elaborate wanting to make hand cream. But yeah, she's going to...
She'll grow some aloe, probably. That's great plant.
Yes, absolutely. So she's going ahead with those ones at the moment. We also have the family support group, which somebody only today thanked me for again.
Okay.
With how supportive that's been. It's not a huge group, so it's really nice and friendly. But of course, I see clients and they're as good as gold.
Sure.
Everything's great with the world.
Yes, but when they're home with the family, there are challenges.
It can be a little different, isn't it?
Yes.
Because of how you can be with your loved ones.
Sure.
If you're feeling irritable, you can be irritable. But I go along to do a teaching session with them, and they're having a great day.
They're merry sunshine, yes,
which
for
I
sure.
know that isn't
really
always
appreciate.
necessarily right. Yeah, and so that group is for family, friends, and carers. If carers can get the time, of course,
for sure,
to be able to go along and talk about. It's just support for one another and how they've overcome difficulties.
Yeah, and probably input to help them cope better in the situations that they find themselves in.
Yeah.
And is that something that takes place on a certain day every month, or do you email out and plan it, or how does that work?
That's on. So it's actually on this Wednesday.
Okay.
Which is what Wednesday of the month is that?
This will be the third Wednesday.
So yes, the third Wednesday of the month from 1:30 till 3. At Vision Bermuda and Beacon House in Vision Bermuda. And anybody is welcome. Yes, I mean it's good if you can let me know.
Sure.
But you can just turn up too.
Absolutely.
That's not a problem at all. Yes. And then I'm starting another group which I've been asked for quite a while, and that's a knitting group.
Okay.
And that is going to start on the first Thursday of the month. So we missed this one because the Thursday was the first.
It'll be the 5th.
So that's going to be the
5th of November.
5th of November, yeah.
No, the 7th of November. Sorry, 7th of November.
Yeah, 7th. It's going to be on the 7th, and again that will be from 1 till 3.
Okay. Yeah.
I might be 1:30 to 3:30. Sorry, because I'm trying to let people have their lunch.
Have a lunch, yes.
But please do ring and let me know. We have a really lovely volunteer, Helen, who's going to help me with that.
Sure, yeah.
And because I can't knit, so she's going to run with that. So there's knitting, crocheting, and cat's tail. And we have somebody fantastic, and just in case he's listening, a gentleman called David made a prototype of a larger cat's tail for me.
Gotcha.
And
What did
that
he
worked,
use
and
for the
Helen-
spool? And
Yeah.
he used something,
Yeah, he used a piece of pipe.
I see. Uh-huh.
And I need to message him back and ask him to make me a few more, because it is brilliant. Because Helen was away. No, it wasn't Helen. Sorry, somebody else.
Too many.
Another client
Uh-huh.
who Helen supports was away,
Mm-hmm.
and so I didn't see her over the summer. But she's just trialled it. Now they're back, and she said it's fantastic. So I'm going to ask him to make a few more, because it's just bigger
Mm-hmm.
than the one that you can buy. That I bought a couple
Mm-hmm. From the
Gibbons
craft
at the
stores.
weekend,
Mm-hmm.
but they are a little bit small for somebody who's blind. They're
Mhm.
great for low vision, but for somebody who's blind. So I need to get in touch with him and ask him. But in case he's listening, thank you so much
Good
for
stuff.
making that first prototype, because that was amazing, and
Oh, there
very,
you
very
go.
grateful for that.
Mm-hmm. It's going to come in handy, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have, we're about to start in November, the 4th of November of the month.
Okay.
Our so it won't happen in December, but our in-person vision talks are coming back.
Okay. You used to hold them at one of the church halls, I
We
believe,
did,
back
but-
before COVID. I remember, because that's how this all came
That's
about.
Right, that's how this came about.
Because we couldn't meet. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're still going to do this, because there's a lot of value in this. It's
Sure.
reaching people that don't come to Beacon House, but
Sure.
that's going to be held in person on a Monday evening, 5:30 till 7,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to have different speakers and other things going
Sure.
on there.
Uh-huh. Information sharing
Yes.
is what it really is all
It
about.
is,
And again, I'm sure the social aspect, having, okay, you do things sort of monthly, but you stagger it through the weeks of the month.
Yes.
And that gives people something to do every week, maybe.
Yeah.
That makes all the difference in their
does.
lives. They can plan, a whole bunch of stuff around that, and getting to be with folks that are in similar situations as them. I'm sure it goes a long way to quality of life.
Yes, it really does.
and being better and
And the
being
emotional
less
support.
isolated.
Emotional support is
Uh-huh.
priceless.
Yep. And got to shout out Phyllis.
Yes, got to shout out Phyllis, and she continues to run her computer and typing school classes on a Tuesday and Thursday mornings. They are always full. I mean, we just
Nice.
had but we have a waiting list, so we had some space, so we brought somebody else in. So please get in touch if that's something that you would like to do as well, because as soon as a space comes available, then
Sure.
you can slot
You
right
can be
in
on
there.
the list.
Or if we had enough for another class, we would book. We would add another
Sure,
class.
add another class if there's enough
Yeah.
interest. So it really is important for anyone who might have been like, oh, I know there's classes, but there's a waiting list. I can't go. Just show your support, and perhaps that will lead to, as
Yes,
Theresa
absolutely.
said.
It's like the cooking classes. I have 2 of them now.
Yeah.
And if I need to have a third, I would definitely have a third.
Yeah, so
we
that will
would
be
find room
one a
within our
week.
calendar,
Yeah, within the calendar.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Rehab at visionbermuda.bm or support at visionbermuda.bm, because, volunteering is great. And although Theresa has sung the praises of all those who have come on board with Vision Bermuda, there are many things that you can do to give of yourself and get all of that lovely, feedback that will make you feel wonderful for helping someone.
Yeah.
So come on out and do that. Support at visionbermuda.bm. You can always give them a call at 292-3231 as well, or email info at visionbermuda.bm. Yeah, you're just so busy, Theresa. Pace yourself, okay? Because we need you to last a long time.
It's always lovely to have a vacation, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you come back.
It's
and
like hit the
there's
ground running.
So much to do. Yeah.
And once again, we want to highlight Children Love Your Eyes.
Yes,
Theresa
please.
highlighted a few of the things that can be, a little concerning for you when kids don't have the words to say what's going on with what they either can see or cannot see sometimes. And make sure you take advantage of the Lions and the service that they offer with Debbie. Please allow for this screening. I think she took pains to explain that there's not a picture of your child's face that is taken, because
That's right, yes.
there's all this fear about sharing imaging. But there's no reason to have any anxiety about that, because it is a a picture of the child's eyes in a way that certain measurements can be taken, and then a printout can be gained by analyzing these measurements of just the child's eyes. So we want to make that point too. So that's probably that comes around at the start of every preschool year. You might be getting it soon, because they've just started back in for the first term for the 4-year-olds.
She lets them settle down. So it's January she's beginning.
Oh, it's the beginning of the second
middle
term.
Of January.
Okay, there you go. That makes a bit of
everybody settle
sense.
down first, yeah.
Be on the lookout for it. Teresa, we've managed to fill up half an hour.
I know, that went very quickly.
Yeah, that's because we skipped a month last month, so Teresa could have a vacation. But good to have you on. We look forward to what's coming up next month as well, and we'll have a guest in studio as you mentioned, hopefully.
Yes.
And we'll be talking about all the other great stuff that's going on there at Vision Bermuda and at Beacon House. You got to check it out, folks. Got to check it out.
Thank you. Yes, it's Diabetes Awareness Month in November.
Sure.
So I'm hoping, I know we will be getting somebody from the Bermuda Diabetes Association
awesome.
to come and talk. So that would be really good and very interesting.
All right. Thanks so much, love, for doing what you do. Keep doing it.
Much. And thank you, everybody, for listening.
Take care.
Bye.
Can't say you didn't know. We just told you all about it right here on Vision Talk at Bermuda's Best Music Mix. You're listening to Ocean 89.